Houston here. For those of you just finding my YouTube channel, welcome. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell. And for those of you that's been following me and supporting me, salute. And for my favorite patrons, always, double salute. Now, today's video, we're actually going to be talking about the Bilt credit card. Okay, and the reason we're talking about this because everybody, oh my God, I gotta get this Bilt card. I gotta get this Bilt card because again, it's supposed to give you rewards for paying your rent, right? However, I'm gonna actually show you how to get 2 trade lines out of this card. Where if you get this credit card or whatever, you're only going to get the 1 trade line. But there's a way that you can actually get 2 trade lines out of this card, okay, for paying your rent. Now, here's the thing about it. Let's look at the Bilt. Here's the things that I want you to understand. Like, you can earn like Lyft and DoorDash credits. It's distributed through Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is currently taking applications for it, okay? And so Wells Fargo pulls your Experian FICO 9. Now, the average credit score, they say, should be good. So about a 670 credit score is what they expect. However, there was somebody that got this here with a 655 credit score. So just letting you know, on their FICO score 9, they had a 655, and they did get the card. However, it was where it should have been. If they're treating this like the World Elite, if this was a World Elite card, you would actually start out with 5,000. But they're not treating this like a World Elite card. They're treating this like a regular Mastercard, okay? And regular Mastercard started with low limits, so they only got $1,000. All right. Now, here's the thing about it. Like, if you stay in one of their Bilt Alliance properties, okay, so you can use the app. They have a Bilt Alliance properties that you can use the app, and when you pay your rent, you get credit for it and also points on it, right? Now, you have to make at least 5 purchases in order to be eligible, 5 monthly purchases. So basically use the card at least 5 times. Now there's no annual fee, no balance transfer fee. Again, for every dollar there's a point on rent, right? No fees. So you can do up to $50,000 in reference to paying rent. Now here's the thing about it. One of the cool parts about this card, not only can you just pay your rent, but you can actually pay your mortgage with it. See, I'm going to show you some platforms and I'm going to break it down so you can clearly understand. That's the reason I tell you guys that paying your rent with not only with a credit card, but paying your rent through certain platforms, it also not only builds up your business credit, but it also helps you qualify for larger lines of credit, as well as if you're paying rent, now those transactions are reported as a trade line on the credit. So what ends up happening, it helps you qualify for a mortgage as well. So that's the reason I tell you guys, if you're paying rent with a money order or cash, stop that. Don't do that because you're hurting yourself. So that's the reason I tell you to don't pay your money. But I got a strategy for you, and I'm going to talk about some other credit cards that also use the FICO 9 that you can leverage as well, okay? Now, in terms of understanding, it's an all-metal black card, and I think that's probably the biggest reason that most people want this card, because it's an all-metal black card. I don't think it's because of the rent thing. I truly think because people just want to be able to have this all-metal black card in their wallet, okay? Now, you get 3 times the points on dining, 2 times the points on travel, 1 times the point on everything else, including the rent, all right? Now, here's the thing about it. In terms of where can I go that I can make an arrangements to where when I make my payments using this Bilt credit card to make sure that it's going to turn out for as a second trade line. Now, when you get the Bilt credit card, again, that's going to be a trade line that's reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. But these here places here, you can also sign up with them and then all your rent payment history will transfer over. By the way, guys, I know that FICO 10 is out, and with a lot of lenders, they have been conservative in terms of giving funding and stuff like that, especially if you have a thin credit file, or you have your credit file is less than 2 years old, okay? And so with the FICO 10, that's basically what it's about in terms of trying to do real-time data, all right? And which I'll talk more about that in a separate video, but understanding this here, okay? So you can sign up with places, these type of places, and the reason that I chose these here places because they report to all 3 credit bureaus. You don't want those places that's only going to report to 1 credit bureau or 2 credit bureaus. You want to sign up with places that report to all 3 credit bureaus. So what it is like your Bilt rental payments. What they do, they take all of those payments that you made, and then they'll report that on the credit history as well. So now you got the credit card that the rental history is being reported, then the actual rental history. And also doing this here, even if you don't have the Bilt credit card, if you sign up with these programs and you've been in a rental property for over 2 years or whatever, this also will help you age your file. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, here's another thing, places to pay your rent through. Okay, so you can sign up with these here places with the Bilt credit card as well. So using the Bilt credit card, you can use a place pay, which your landlord actually has to be willing to accept payments, direct payments through them, but they charge a fee of $2.99 for every credit card or debit card payment, and a $1.95 flat fee for a check. And it allows the roommates to split the rent. That's the reason, like if you're roommating with somebody, I tell you, do not stop giving them cash. Stop giving them cash, because that actually can be a trade line on your credit to help build up your credit. So that's the reason I tell you, even if you're roommating, you need to sign up with platforms that allow you to send them out a check, so that way it can be calculated as rent. And by you having a Bilt card, signing up, using your Bilt card to sign up with one of these platforms and let them send the check out. So now you have 2 trade lines that's reporting on the credit file. Okay. Then you have a RentTrack paper check. It charges $2.95 fee when you pay with a credit card, or credit card is $6.95. Okay. So when you pay with or $6.95, and I guess that $6.95 is for when you actually pay with a check. And it reports to all 3 credit bureaus. So if you just want one system that reports to all 3 credit bureaus, if your landlord is not reporting your rent to your credit report, then RentTrack will probably be your biggest benefit, because that $6.95 fee is what they charge to report your rent on a monthly basis. All right. Now, then you also have plastic, which I'll always tell you guys to sign up with, because they charge 2.85% of your overall payment. So it's not a flat fee. It's what the overall payment is what they charge. Okay. And then they charge 1% on if you're using a debit card. All right. But at the same time, hey, if you got a debit card with a Visa Mastercard logo, there you go. So like your extra, let's talk about the extra credit card, right? The extra credit card, which reports to your Experian and your Equifax, right? So you sign up with the extra card and use the extra card, sign up with plastic on the debit card. Now you're going to have that transferred over then with that other system, or you can use the extra credit card signing up with this RentTrack, right? And so again, you're still getting multiple trade line, primary trade lines on your credit file. That's what you want. You want to be able to start building up multiple trade lines, and by showing consistency of paying rent and stuff like that on time, like I said, even if you're roommating with somebody, you should have your debit card. If you're giving them $5, $6, $7, $1,000 a month, sharing your part of the rent. Okay, so what you want to do, like I said, if you can get the extra debit card or the credit AI card, then sign up with RentTrack. Okay, and yeah, it's a fee of $6.95, but you can write that off on your taxes, right? But here's the thing about it, because those fees can be tax written off. That's the reason that I'm saying that, so it won't confuse you. But you're going to get 2 trade lines. You're going to get 2 trade lines. So you're going to get the extra debit card app that's reporting to your Experian and your Equifax, right? Then with RentTrack, it's actually going to report to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. 2 trade lines. 2 trade lines, guys. This is crazy. And again, understanding how to use it. Now, that being said, say that you're a person that qualify for an American Express. The $6.95 is for the American Express Platinum card. So say that you get approved for American Express Platinum card, right? And you're a person that's big on rewards because you want to stay in nicer hotels, you want to take nicer flights and stuff. Why not use an American Express card? Because the average credit score to get an American Express card, they're working with people with a 660, 670 credit score as well, right? And the more you utilize your credit card, again, and paying it off, now I would tell you, I made a video explaining about the 14 different credit cards with American Express, right? And you can get 14 different cards with them. The maximum amount of actual credit cards you can get with them is 4, and then the charge cards is 10. So I would tell you, I would probably go after the 4 credit cards, right? And use those credit cards like to pay my rent and stuff. That way, like all my bonuses for like hotel rewards, flights, restaurants, and stuff like that, I'm using it through the American Express. Now, here's another thing that I like about this, and this strategy you can use with any card. So if you don't want to pay that fee, you can actually sign your credit card up with Venmo and then pay your rent through Venmo because they don't charge a fee. Now, here's the thing about it. You have to make sure that your landlord or whoever you're dealing with is accepting Venmo, and you have to make sure that your transaction statement says rent, right? So again, when it says rent, now you can still use those transactions, sign up with like one of those rental reporting companies and stuff, so they can report that as a trade line as well. Okay, so that way, again, you're getting this continuation of positive rent reporting, and you're getting 2 trade lines out of it. Okay, now, unfortunately, with American Express, they pull a FICO 8 Experian. Now, PENFED, you want your reward points and stuff like that, and working on getting higher limits. Then you definitely want to go with the Visa Signature card. You can use this here to pay your rent. Again, signing up with Plastic or Rent Reporter or something like that. Some of the ones that I mentioned and everything. Again, multiple trade lines. By you having multiple trade lines and stuff like that, reporting helps build up the credit. So you can get larger lines. And for most people may not be aware, even though PenFed, they don't offer business accounts, right? And that's the thing for me. I like working with financial institutions that offer business accounts. However, PenFed is very generous in terms of like increasing credit card limits, loans, and things of that nature. So that's one of the things that I would definitely tell you that, and you can get into PenFed without being military associated. So that's one of the awesome things about PenFed, okay? But the Visa Signature card is what you want to go after with PenFed. Again, average credit score with PENFED, you can get a PENFED credit card with about a 620 credit score. Okay, I'll do a more detailed video on PENFED, but just so that you can understand that they are very generous. And so again, they pull the FICO 9 Equifax. Then you have Upgrade. Now, Upgrade is one of those fintech companies, FICO 9 soft pull, and you're able to see exactly how much you're qualified for right away. And they have a Visa signature card, and so their limits go from 500 up to 50,000. Minimum credit score is a 560. Average credit score is a 678. Right now, a good thing about this is that they allow you to have a high debt to income ratio, about 75%. Now, the average annual income with Upgrade is about 78,000. Again, you have a spouse that's working, you're working, you make sure that you're including all the household income. If you're retired, making sure that you include the income from your annuities, your 401ks and things of that nature. If you're disabled, you're renting out an apartment or something like that, and someone's helping you pay the rent and stuff like that, you need to make sure that you include the portion that they're also helping you pay as part of your income, because they help you pay the rent, but at the same time, you have your own income as well. Now, the unfortunate thing, like I always tell you, that with the Upgrade, they pull FICO 9 TransUnion, and the unfortunate thing, they don't work in Colorado, Idaho, New York, Vermont, Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Okay, but this is definitely something that you guys should be taking advantage of, especially signing this here card up, getting the card, signing it up with those rental platforms and stuff, and then paying your rent so you can get multiple trade lines reporting. Okay. Now, Navy Federal, again, we all know you have to be a member, but I always tell people, if you join in Navy Federal, now Navy Federal is one of those ones that's all about internal scoring, in which I made a video explaining all the internal scoring of Navy Federal. So if you want to see that video, put a comment below. But I always tell people that you probably want to go for the cash rewards card, because usually the cash rewards card starts at about $5,000, okay? And they also pull your FICO 9. So that's the reason, like, where I made the video talking about, because I know people are like, well, trade lines are dead, trade lines are dead. Those, like, trade lines with My Jewelers and other companies similar to that, those are the ones that the credit bureaus are headhunting, cutting those type of trade lines. But in reference to real strong primaries associated with financial institutions, even like jewelry accounts like K Jewelers and stuff, those type of trade lines are still sticking around. So you don't have to worry about losing your trade line on that, because they actually are giving you a physical product and you're making monthly payments on it, versus these other companies, you're just saying that, yeah, I got a piece of jewelry from them or whatever, and I'm making monthly payments, but you actually wasn't. So that's one of the bigger things that's happening with a lot of companies like that with the trade line. But back to Navy Federal in terms of reporting rent. Like I said, this probably would be the best card I would go after, because again, you have a high chance of starting with a $5,000 credit limit. Now, if you have any other questions about business credit, personal credit, business credit funding, personal credit funding, then click the link in the description and schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.